Hi guys, I'm Dee Harris and welcome to another episode of Hanging Out with Dee. Today I have with me another amazing guest, Robert Grady, Food Advocate.
Hi Dee.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Happy to have you.
Very happy to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I met Robert at Sticks and Stones a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we were hanging out there.
We were hanging out there. And you had some really interesting information about food. But let's rewind a little bit. You're a former Navy guy.
I am a retired Navy guy.
Yeah.
21 years in the Navy, retired Navy Chief.
Retired Navy Chief.
Yeah, and I suppose you're wondering, how did I get to this place?
How did you get to this point? Tell us all.
Well, one of my last jobs in the Navy, I was at the Naval Air Station in Maine, and I went and checked in, and the commander of the base said to me, Chief Grady, by the way, one of your jobs is going to be the Command Fitness Coordinator for the Naval Air Station. I'm thinking to myself, there are 10,000 men and women that I'm now responsible for, and I barely make it through the PRT myself. So I'm like, okay, fine. So the next thing I know, I find myself down in Virginia being trained as a personal fitness trainer from the Cooper Institute for Aerobics Research. And I discovered that the issues around me not being able to run were more psychology, and that suddenly I found myself able to run a half marathon, which I did within 6 months, and I was running 17 miles a day. And things of that sort. And the biggest element was the discovery that lifestyle choices was really a significant impact on men and women being able to successfully pass their physical fitness tests.
Correct.
And most often it was because of obesity or being overfat. And through that, I became very aware of the impact of proper nutrition and diet to wellness and well-being. So I carried that with me. I retired. I stopped running as much. Actually, I don't run much at all. I gained a lot of weight. I didn't really care anymore. I was vacationing. I was retired.
Correct.
And years went on, and life changes happen. My kids grow up. I have a granddaughter who's now 8 years old. A few years ago, she was 6.
Yeah.
And this whole thing about GMOs, and what is a GMO, and the GMO labeling initiative and healthy food choices started coming into the forefront.
All right. What inspires you?
There's a few things that inspire me. The first thing that inspires me is people. People inspire me because I believe through my life, my discovery is that all people want to do well and be well. And what inspires me is love and laughter.
Why?
Because basically, we want to get biblical for a second, take it to the root. God is.
Yes.
Omnipotent. He's everywhere. Well,
Yes.
at the same token, love is all those things as well. And with love, as soon as we start saying love meets this criteria, then suddenly we've humanized it to the point where we've diminished the omnipotence of love. So to me, love is essential. Then there's some crazy people out there. My favorite crazy person in the world who ever lived was St. Francis of Assisi. He was a nut. The guy had all the money in the world to do everything he wanted to do in the world, and he turned his back to it all, letting go of the material things to really enjoy and embrace love. You would find this guy laughing in the woods with animals, with people. He was just a wonderful human being, and I really, he inspired me. And a more human person in our generations was a guy, a professor from UCLA. His name was Leo Buscaglia. He's since passed. He died in 1998, I believe, in Arizona. But back in the 70s, he taught at UCLA, and he had a class he called Living, Loving, and Learning. And the inspiration at that moment was late 1979. I was a lonely sailor living down in Jacksonville, Florida, from Portland, Maine, if you will. Totally different worlds, and I wasn't really happy with the way things were going in my life. And this
You were
guy,
in the Navy at that time.
I was in the Navy at the time, and Leo was doing his little pitch on his book, Living, Loving, and Learning, and he taught me what namaste meant.
What does it mean?
Namaste means that the goodness in my soul and my heart finds the goodness in the soul in your heart. And when these two connect, there is a synergy. I'm abusing it for all you people who are in yoga, but you get the idea what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Because he told me that term once a long time ago, But I never heard the term, but I heard his actions and his behaviors. And he was all about embracing, he was all about love, he was all about food, he was all about laughter. And those all together have pretty much what inspired me. So I enjoy these moments, you know, try to keep it simple.